Hi, welcome back to the third episode of the Summer I Turn Pretty podcast. I have Natalie Spencer here. Say hi.
Hi.
So, I've heard that you haven't read the books.
No, I haven't, but I've watched every season.
Okay, and let me guess, you're Team Conrad?
Very much so.
Okay.
Hardcore Team Conrad.
I feel that. And so, how are you feeling so far with this season?
A little frustrated. A
Right.
lot frustrated.
I get that. And specifics?
Episode 7 really messed me up. Like on the beach scene.
Yeah.
With her like screaming at him and everything, because I've been Team Conrad since the very beginning. Now, I've always loved Conrad. I just felt like, especially earlier on, like with the first 2 seasons, he never really knew how to express himself.
Yeah.
And he always kept himself bottled up, and now this season he's finally expressing himself and everybody's getting mad at him for it, and I hate that for him.
I know. It's hard to watch because, like, with the books, you're given his point of view, especially with the last book, and so you have those inside thoughts, and same with Belly. And with the show, you don't get that as much, and so people are, turning things around and making it seem like it's something that it's not, and it's kind of hard to watch, and it's frustrating as someone who read the books, for me at least. How are you feeling about Belly and her choices?
I think Paris was a very impulse choice for her. I think even she knows that. I think that it was okay to take time away, just not necessarily in Paris, especially not talking to anybody about it, like rationally, especially her mom.
Right.
I think that she needs to come home.
One thing I heard was that this was the first time Belly has chosen herself in a really long time. And I like that, everyone was worried, Belly's going to choose herself. She's going to choose Summer instead of Conrad or Jeremiah. But this is showing that, she's finally putting herself first instead of Jeremiah.
Right.
Like, I kept noticing within this episode.
She's not living through him.
Yeah, that he was like, I need you. I can't sleep without you. I can't do this without you. And she always babied him.
Right.
And, that was something she never had to do with Conrad, which is
No, because
why
he's
I
an
love him so
independent
much.
king.
Yes, exactly.
But also, with the phone call that they had when she was on the bus, it felt like he was, like, manipulating her into coming back to him. And he was like, I was waiting for you to call. I can't sleep without you.
Yeah.
We can make this work. And then when she was like, I can't, which obviously I wouldn't be able to if I called off a wedding. Things can't go back to how they were.
And he was trying to.
And then he was, like, being rude to her and was like, don't call me again. And I was like, ew.
No, I feel that. And with Conrad, people, especially in the show and some people outside of the show, like fans, are kind of making Conrad seem like he's the bad guy, which I don't personally see that, because I've seen that Conrad put Jeremiah first, he put Belly first, and he put his feelings literally on ground zero.
Right.
And he's finally healed himself, and he was like, I can't handle this anymore. And so he told her, and he's seen as the bad guy. How are you feeling about that?
I don't think he should be seen as a bad guy, especially with how in love they were when they were together. Even Susanna saw that. We saw it in the letters.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
I did feel bad for Jeremiah.
I felt bad
that.
for Jeremiah on that. How can you be the bad guy if you're expressing your feelings?
Exactly.
Especially, no, I don't think maybe he shouldn't have done it before the wedding.
Yeah.
But also, if he's gonna feel awful when they're together and not want to talk to any of them, I feel like he needed to get that off his chest before.
And it was always the fact, which this was what really made me angry going into season 3, was Jeremiah couldn't stand being around them when Conrad and Belly were together. And all he did when Belly and him were together was show it in front of Conrad and just blatantly she's my girl, not yours. And especially with the way that this last episode ended with their last conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never want to see you again. He was almost bragging to Conrad, like, she called me, not you.
Right, like it's a competition.
Yeah, and it really shows how much he doesn't care about Belly, and he just cares about rubbing it in his brother's face.
Right, that's all he cares about. He's a man-child.
Yeah, I'm a full stand.
I think it was a competition from the very beginning, especially with Susanna, like, saying that he was always a prettier one out of the two. I think from the beginning it's always been a competition with the two boys, which obviously siblings, a lot of things are competition, but this was just one of those big things that he thought was a competition, which shouldn't have been.
And taking a step outside of Belly and the boys, how are we feeling about Taylor and Steven?
Oh, I love them so much. I was so happy when Denise found out that they didn't really have any
Yes.
chemistry. I do like Denise. Denise is a pretty chill person, but they just wouldn't have went together.
No.
Like, Steven needs the fire from Taylor
Yeah.
to light him up. Denise was just too
Yeah.
mellow for him.
The way that Steven had said, "You're never that friend to me," and I've really seen how Taylor has grown up in that sense, and I really hope, this is the last
Right.
season, so, like, I'm hoping it ends on a good note.
Yeah.
But I really have
I
hope
think
that
the
they
stuff
will.
with her mom also made her snap into reality.
Yeah.
Also, snap into reality that Steven's there always to help her.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. No, that was great. But,
yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.